Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in Becky's Happy Birthday Hop and Giveaway, and so you want to make sure you go over to her channel and check out her video as well and all of the other people playing along. Their links will be down in my description box down below, so be sure to go check them out and enjoy all of the layouts being creative and find out more about that giveaway. So today I am working with some photos that are super old. These are from my 5th birthday, so yeah, so these are really old. So, you know, I haven't documented a lot of my childhood, so I figured it was about time I do that. I have this piece of cream colored paper, and I'm going to go ahead and put some clear gesso on it because I know I want a little bit of mixed media on it. And you saw me flipping through a whole bunch of papers there. Those are all from Cakewalk, and I believe that's October Afternoon's Cakewalk, and that's I don't know, that's old too because they're not in business anymore. But I've had this sitting around in my stash for a while, and I've used it once before to document one of my other birthday parties, but I wanted to go ahead and use it again to document this particular birthday. I feel like these papers really represent that era well because they are kind of vintagey looking papers, and so that's why I decided to go with it. Now I'm using some Catherine Pooler ink, and that is, I believe, meant to be, and I wasn't getting as dark as I wanted, so I tried this other color which has a little bit more blue in it, but then I decided I wasn't going to use a ton of that as well because it was a little bit more blue than I was looking for. And I know I want to have a little bit more color on this. Apparently there was a piece of fuzz on my paper, so that was what I was picking off there with my tweezers. And so what I did was I went with the meant to be, but I went directly to the paper and just sprayed it rather than trying to put it on using the packaging. It was coming out a little bit too light for my taste, and a little bit too light to match the paper that it was going to be opposite of. So if you are using gesso on your paper, you can just directly throw some ink onto your paper that way and smoosh it on there and just spray it with some water. It'll move around and you can hopefully get the look that you like. Now I am also using some of the darker color of the more blue ink, and I apologize, I don't have that ink in front of me, and I'm using this Distress ink. Actually, I think it's Cracked Pistachio, and the green one might be Evergreen Bough. I'm not 100% sure on that one though, but I'm just basically sprinkling that over with my paintbrush. And then I am using some white watered down, and I'm going to sprinkle that over the green pattern paper, and that is going to kind of bring the mixed media down onto the pattern paper so that it has a little bit of continuity, I guess. And then I'm going to take this black and cream striped paper, and I'm cutting a strip of it, and I'm going to put it in between the two pieces, and I like how that looks. And then I decide it needs a torn edge because I have a torn edge of the cream paper. Now it did look fine with the straight edge, but I wanted to bring in more texture, so I thought that would work well. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere both of those pieces down, and I'm going to end up only using 2 photos on this layout. I have a photo of me on my bicycle that I got that year. And I have a picture of me in kind of a fancy dress that my grandparents bought me. So those are the 2 photos. In the beginning of the video you probably saw I had 5 pictures out there, but I ended up going with just these 2. The other 3 will be scrapbooked on a different layout. They are more about the party, and they've got pictures of some of the people that were at the party in the photograph. So in this particular case I wanted to kind of document the 2 big gifts that I got that year, and you know, there may have been other gifts that were big as well, but these are the 2 that stood out in my mind, and I actually do remember getting these gifts. So there aren't a lot of birthday gifts that I do remember over the years past that were from my early childhood, because You know, that was like 40 years ago. But um, I do remember actually getting these two gifts. And so I pulled this vellum out. That vellum is from Felicity Jane. And I got that like more than a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, and it was a Black Friday sale item. And then I went off camera and I stitched with black thread all the way around the layout because I really like how that finishes the edge off. I don't do it on every layout, but there are quite a few that I do use stitching on, or I do a little scribble mark around the layout with my pen, or maybe I ink around the edges. So I really like how it kind of just completes the page. I had fussy cut out these characters sitting at the table with the cake from one of the other pattern papers in this collection, and so I decided to use that piece in the bottom left-hand corner. And then I thought I was going to use these pieces of this pink paper behind my photograph as well, but then I decided I really didn't want to bring in other colors, so I decided to go monochromatic on this particular layout, and I will end up using that piece that I cut on the companion page to this, which is basically the same kind of layout. It's got the same mixed media on the top with the black and cream line in between and pattern paper on the other side, but it's in pinks, and that's the one about the party. So that piece is not going to waste. I'm going to use it. I'm just not using it on this layout. Now I did build up some pieces right above the photographs, and those are just some tabs and some little pieces that are going to say like location and best day ever. And then I am pulling in more of this vellum up to the top and down to the bottom left. Now, since the bottom piece is completely left justified and the middle piece is not exactly right justified, I decided to kind of split the difference for the top piece to create more balance. I could have possibly put it all the way over to the right to make more of a diagonal design, but then I felt like there would be too much weight on the right hand side unless I went with a very small embellishment in that area. So splitting the difference kind of keeps the balance and will allow your eye to flow from one piece or one cluster to the next And I have pulled out a little round piece there above the photograph that says date, and a round piece that's going to go up at the top. It has Happy Day written on it, and the Happy Day piece will be popped up onto foam. And I think that the pieces on my acrylic block at the top of the screen there, I think I'm going to use those on there on my layout as well. And then I remember for a challenge that was happening over at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, we needed to use diamonds, not diamonds, those aren't diamonds, triangles on our layout. So I decided to use some white paper glaze from Picket Fence Studio, which I absolutely love. It goes on so smooth. It's very buttery and light, and it dries super fast. And I just put it through that triangle stencil, which doesn't add a lot of in-your-face visual interest. It's very subtle and it's light. You can see it on the layout in person. You can kind of see it up there at the top, but it's not really bold. It's kind of understated, and I like that because it adds texture, but again, there's not a lot of in-your-face visual appeal going on there, so it's not drawing away from anything else on the layout, but it does add to it. Let's see here, that little arrow piece that is above the photograph, I'm going to end up putting writing just my 5th birthday on there so that I will remember down the road that this is my 5th birthday. It is going to have the date on it as well, but I just decided why not. And then I am working on bringing in some wood veneer because that was also another piece of the challenge. Again, this was a party weekend over at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and I decided to go ahead and work on this layout during that time. So I have pulled in a little group of balloons right above the photographs. I am pulling in a gift in the bottom left hand corner and a wood veneer party hat at the top. And I really like how those look. Now the pieces at the bottom of the photograph, or the bottom of the layout, they say 100% fun today. And then the little blue circle, it actually has, it's tone on tone aqua with the characters at the birthday cake, and so I like that. And I am just putting my acrylic block over that to hold everything down while the glue kind of dries a little bit. And I find that a little bit of extra weight helps that, especially when there's foam underneath the pieces, and then I use the liquid glue. Now I'm trying to get a place to put this rectangle tag piece, and it's going to end up there at the top, but I knew I wanted a little place to put some journaling, and so that's going to be my little journaling area from where it says happy day on that circular piece all the way down through that little tag piece. And it's not a lot of journaling, but I don't really have a ton to say because I don't really remember a whole lot about this birthday. I was 5. I do remember my gift, these 2 gifts, the bicycle I got from my parents, and the dress I got from my dad's parents, so my paternal grandparents. And that kind of stood out in my mind because we were not really close with them, and I was much closer to my mom's parents than my dad's parents when I was a little kid. And so that kind of just stood out to me that they got me this really fancy dress, or at least in my mind, my 5-year-old mind, this was a really fancy dress. And I remember that it had like these fluffy layers underneath so that when you spun around, it like went out flat. And yeah, it was super fancy, and I remember loving that dress. Even though green wasn't my favorite color, the dress is white with green detailing on it. And then in the other photo with my bike is turquoise, but my pants are green and my shirt has green stripes on it, and I've got green hair bows in. And so that all kind of helped me figure out that I was going to use the green on this layout. Now I'm working on my title. One of the other requirements for this particular challenge was to use stamps on your layout, so I am stamping the word happy, and I am just using a post-it note there to mask off the other piece of that stamp because it does say something happy, it does say something other than just happy on it, and I don't remember what that is at this moment in time, but I knew I didn't want it on my layout. So I'm stamping the word happy, and I do know that it looks like my thickers say Burt Bay because I had to use a B and turn it into an H because I didn't have any H's left. So it is an H now that I have cut it, and I believe I turned a Q into an A. So you can't tell on the layout at the end of the day, but I know that it was changed. And the word happy stamped pretty good, but there were a couple of spots that were lighter, so I just used my Muji pen and kind of filled in those areas. Can't tell at all anymore. And then over on the right hand side of the photos, I am writing, or I'm using the number 2 and U and an exclamation point. So it will read happy birthday to you, and then I'm going to stamp the word beautiful underneath. And so that would make it read happy birthday to you, beautiful. Anyway, so I definitely wanted to use the word stamps on here because that was one of the requirements, again, from the challenge at our party weekend for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And if you're interested in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, you can check them out, and I will put the link down below for you to easily get to that. And then I am adding some hearts that are in shades of green or aqua, and those are puffy hearts. I also add a puffy little circle and a brad to each embellishment area, and a little word sticker. One says excitement, one says presents, and the other congratulations. And then I'm going to do my journaling, and that's pretty much going to do it. Close-ups are coming up. Thanks so much for watching. Again, go check out what Becky has on her page and all of the other links down below. And happy birthday month to Becky. I hope you have a great month. It is also my birthday month, so happy birthday to both of us. I hope you have a great celebration. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.